Massive congratulations. The perfect start to your one championship career. Tye Ruotolo wins your debut via submission against the Lion Killer, Garry Tonon. Is that the perfect beginning to the one career for you?
Yeah, I don't think it could have gone any better for sure. Definitely a really good guy to get a submission win over like that. Gary's a legend of the sport, so to get the Darce over him in that amount of time, I'm super stoked on the win for sure.
I guess we got to ask you, are you going to split that bonus with your brother?
That's my immediate thought after I got it, to be honest with you. I was thinking about it. We probably will. The bonus is going towards our gym that we're going to be building in Costa Rica for sure. So I can't wait to get that up and going, and then yeah, I'll be training in paradise.
Even though there wasn't really like personal beef between yourself and Garry, how good does it feel to get a win for your team against the Danaher Death Squad?
Oh, definitely really good for sure. Yeah, a little bit of a rivalry you could say with DDS and Atos, and yeah, definitely felt really sweet to get the win for my team. I still have yet to call my professor, but I'm excited to see what he has to say.
Do you think Garry underestimated you in any way?
Yes, definitely for sure. Gary's been at the top of the sport for a very long time. The past couple of years, he's been doing more MMA, but I kind of took that spot while he's been away, and I kind of proved that tonight, I think.
Can you talk us through the finish, especially for the uninitiated who might have been watching for the first time tonight? That was awesome.
Yeah, for sure. I got a little takedown, and then he was up against the cage. I ended up stacking him and executing one of my favorite dart setups off when my opponent gets stacked. So I just popped the elbow into place, set it up, locked up the darts, and from there it was finished.
How difficult is it to set up a finish like that for anybody at the highest level against a guy like Garry?
Super hard. Gary's known as the escape artist for sure. So, he's definitely got a bunch of different exit routes from different positions that he shouldn't. So I was definitely just stoked to be able to see that opportunity, catch it, and finish it for sure.
Where do you put the Darce up there in terms of your favorite submissions?
It's always been my brother and I's favorite submission ever since we were little white belts. And it's funny, like it's not really like a submission that kids will do, or even a submission you do in the gi. But there's videos of us as like little white belts in the gi doing the darces to other little white belts too. It's definitely just been for some reason our favorite submissions ever since we were little babies. I don't know why. Maybe we just got longer arms or whatever it is. But yeah, it's definitely been one that Kate and I use every day.
You can imagine that the competitor in Garry is going to be smarting after this one. Do you think this could be the beginning of a story between you guys? Are you welcoming more matches between you guys in the future?
Yeah, if he wants to run it back, I'd be down, but I'm looking for more different opponents now. I want to keep climbing the ranks, fighting, the best possible guys I possibly can. And I just want to thank Garry for taking the match. He's been doing MMA for a couple of years, and he really didn't have to take the match with, probably one of the better guys of the sport now. So, there's a lot of pressure, and yeah, so thanks for taking the match for sure.
Is there any sense that his mind is elsewhere in terms of MMA? Do you still think you face the best Garry Tonon in terms of jiu-jitsu?
Yeah, to be honest, I think so. He felt like how he looked. I've never fought him before, so I can't really answer that. But yeah, I know what I'm capable of. And tonight I did what I thought I was gonna do. So yeah, I'm very just grateful and stoked to be able to do it on the best platform in jiu-jitsu. So definitely a really good night for my brother and I.
How does it feel to have the fastest submission grappling victory in one history?
Oh, sick. I wasn't aware I had that. Super stoked, man. That's unreal for sure. God, couldn't be a better debut for me at all. Super grateful for the opportunity to compete here. And yeah, it's not about, the titles or, the the finish, but it's about, the way you get there, So I was excited that I was able to put on a show for the fans and make it exciting for everyone.
Not everybody could go in, corner somebody, corner their brother, and then go straight in and compete against one of the best ever. How do you do that mentally? And what's going through your head when you do that?
Yeah, it honestly just gets me psyched and ready to go. My brother and I have been coaching each other our whole lives, and wasn't our first rodeo for sure. So it's nothing new to us there. My brother and we're each other's biggest supporters, and no one wants to see each other win more than each other. So we're also our biggest supporters, our biggest critics as well. So coming off his match, you know, he told me all the things that, he thought I should know going into the cage. You know, the circle's a bit different than the mats. And yeah, so he was able to give me all the great tips that I needed. And yeah, it was super a great experience, you know, coaching beside him.
How important was it that he got the job done for you to then go and be able to focus on you taking care of business yourself?
For sure. You know, I was stoked that he got the win, and I wasn't disappointed that he didn't get the sub. He had a great performance, you know, attacked the entire time. And I think Shinya, such a legend, but he did the fight like a bit defensively, so it made it very difficult for K to get the sub. So it definitely motivated me to get the sub in my match for sure. So K didn't get the sub, and I knew I was going to get it no matter what. Yeah.
What did you make of the switch around of opponents, the switch around that you guys experienced? Do you think we might see you switching opponents in the future and him taking on Garry, you taking on Shinya?
Yeah, very possibly. If the fans want to see it, the people want to see it, we're more than down for that. You know, when we first switched opponents, it was definitely my doing. You know, I've been calling Garry out for a few years, and I really wanted that match. So yeah, I was stoked to have, you know, the match tonight. It went, you know, the best way it really could have. And yeah, it's just a great night for us. I'm super stoked.
Well, you've set the bar pretty high for fighting Garry. If Cade fights him, do you think he'll try and finish him quicker? How will it go? Do you see the submission there?
Good luck, Cade. If you're gonna sub him quicker than I did, that's gonna be real difficult. You know, I definitely had a real good night tonight, but yeah, I definitely think Cade would put the pressure on Garry and get the submission as well. We do best against guys that come at us, you know. So guys like Garry Tonon, you know, he likes to attack, and you know, in the fire, that's where we do best. And today, Garry Tonon got burnt, so I'm stoked.
How much of the pre-fight was focused on avoiding leg locks? And yeah, that didn't really become a factor in the end.
Yeah, you know what? My brother and I, we focus a lot on each other. You know, so I didn't really focus too much on my opponent. I just try to be the best version of myself. So I know every match I go into, I'm not worried. I don't really have any weaknesses. You know, I could be on my back, I could be on top, I can be defending leg drops. I'm confident and comfortable everywhere. So anytime I do find a little weakness, I sit down in the garage with my brother and we fix it. So every match we go into, you know, I have real confidence. You know, it's nothing fake, because you know, in every situation, I feel like I know everything from there. You know, in the most humble way possible.
Well, you mentioned that Cade might struggle to finish Garry quicker than you did, but if you face Shinya Aoki, are you going to try and buggy choke him? How would you approach it?
Absolutely, for sure. I think Cade definitely set it up at the end, and it looked real tight. I think he probably would have got the sub, but yeah, another 10 seconds. Yeah, but homies or Shinya's is so tough, you know. So I definitely try to get that sub over Shinya. If we did decide to switch opponents, for sure. Buggy chokes are probably our second favorite sub, just behind the Darce.
And how pleased were you with that move that your brother pulled, jumping off the cage like that? Is that something you might like to try as well?
Definitely. You know, when I seen it, I was like, wow. You know, I wasn't expecting that for sure. You know, like I said, Cade's one of the most creative grapplers I've ever seen in my life. You know, today he took it to a different level, jumping off the cage a little bit, like Anthony Pettis, you could say, for sure. So I was definitely stoked to see that move hit. Maybe we can start drilling that more. We definitely got to train more in the circle and come up with more crazy submissions and positions that we can do. So I'm just excited to keep innovating, gonna keep inspiring.
So Cade mentions transitioning to MMA. Can you just talk us through your ambitions in this sport or other sports perhaps over the next few years?
Yeah, my goal in jiu-jitsu right now is just to keep being the best version of myself, you know, and to just get to the title in jiu-jitsu, to get to the title in MMA is what my brother and I want to do as well too. So we got a lot of goals right now. You know, tonight's a great night for us, and that's gonna reflect on tonight and see what the future holds for us later.
Can we ask you who's next, or who would you like next?
Um, I just finished that match. Honestly, I really don't know who I want next in jiu-jitsu. You know, maybe an MMA debut. You know, my brother and I are really scratching for that. But yeah, I'm really down to fight anybody in the world. You know, big, small, anybody. I'm ready to go.
Is there anybody in terms of MMA who you either respect or you think would just be fun, or you think would be a big one for the fans?
Wow, MMA, Garry Tonon, I think would be fun for the fans for sure. I think he's 6-1 in MMA. You know, he just came off a title fight, and I don't know if Chatri would let me debut my match with Garry Tonon. I had dinner with him the other night, and I think he kind of seemed interested in the idea. So that would be really cool to have the opportunity to fight Garry for sure in MMA. I think after my performance tonight, I kind of deserve it. You know, and on jiu-jitsu, I proved that, you know, I'm better than him, you know, the most humble way possible. And I think my hands are better than his too, you know, just being realistic. So I'd love to fight him in MMA.
Well, I think you've just set that fight up beautifully right there. That is how you get fights, sir. It's been so much fun having you guys inside the circle. Maximum respect and congratulations.
Yeah, much appreciated. Thanks everyone for watching. So stoked. You guys are the best.